What it do? It is your hostess with the mostest, your favorite crew excellence member, Justin Strickland, and I'm back with episode 7 of The Ladder. Shout out to my guy Nate on the ones and the two. I'm super excited to be back. I hope y'all enjoyed my basketball episode. I had tons of fun with y'all last week, and I'm super excited this week. This will be the last sports kind of episode, but I love sports, man. I've been playing sports, like I said, my whole life, and right now, we're getting really close to the playoffs, so I think it was a great time to drop it. And I think that it is super relevant just to see how perspective leadership can be applied to other places. And so we're going to hop into the NFL. And we're going to talk about different players, their perspectives, different positions. I'm going to talk about all-time teams. We're going to go through all of that today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share with your best friend who loves football, okay? Because this is an all-football podcast. And like I said last week, if you don't like football or don't like sports, hang out because you can still learn about the different perspectives and how they are applied in different situations, okay? So this is a great episode. I can't wait to share it with you, and stay till the end. I got some bonuses I cannot wait to share with you. All right, so let's jump into it. The all-time perspectives leadership team, right? This was way harder than basketball because there are so many more players in the NFL. Like, we talking about basketball teams have 12 players on the team. Every football team has 53 players of all time in all history. It was very difficult to make this list. And you should really like and subscribe and share because I went through blood, sweat, and tears to create this list for you all, okay? Jumping into it, my hero leader, I think, out of all of the players and people in history, I think the hero leader I chose was Bo Jackson. And the reason I chose Bo Jackson, I think out of all the players in NFL, not only is he the biggest what if, I think he is the biggest talent that has ever played in NFL. And in a sense where he played the running back position at a time where running backs were by far the most important position on the field. And not only did he play the running back position, he played it in a way where he was stronger, faster, quicker, more athletic than everybody else he was playing against. And so they would literally give him the ball and be like, hey, go make a play, Bo. Like, run him over. Yeah, we didn't block him. Run him over. Yeah, we missed him. Spin, juke. Do great things, Bo. That's what you're here to do. Do great things. Be incredible, Bo, because we're going to give you this ball and we might miss a block. That's not your problem. Your issue is how great can you be on this play? And if you look at his highlight reel, there was a lot of plays where Bo was great. And so Bo is my hero leader. For my guru, I'm going Mike Singletary. Like I said, it's so many different players you could choose from, but I'm going Mike Singletary. He played middle linebacker, which everybody knows is the quarterback of the defense. He was super important to probably the greatest defense of all time. He was the brains of the greatest defense of all time. And he was so smart that he became a coach afterwards and was very successful as a coach. All players don't make great coaches, but the really smart ones do. And so Mike Singletary, he's my guru leader, going from middle linebacker to coach, coaching successful teams, being the brains of probably the best defense in NFL history. Them or the Ravens, you can argue either or, but Michael Singletary was the brains of that operation, so he's my guru leader. My voice leader is Terrell Owens. He spoke for the people. I think one thing I'll never forget is when he was crying about Donovan McNabb. He was like, that's my quarterback. Y'all talking about my quarterback. Like, T.O. was for his teammates, man. And he was a great player. And a lot of people say he was selfish. T.O. was a great teammate. And all his teammates loved him and he went to bat for them. And honestly, that might have been what kind of soured some stuff in the places he was at. Was he was so pro teammate that he got into it with coaches and media and even GM sometimes because he was really for his people that he was going to battle with. And so that's my voice leader was T.O. And then royalty leader, I'm going Emmitt Smith. The 90s Cowboys is probably one of the most famous teams in NFL history, probably the most famous team in NFL history. Emmitt Smith was was one of the most important pieces to that culture. I always think it's hilarious that Emmitt Smith used to run out of bounds and stuff. I think that's so funny. But like, he was like so constant and so dependable that it allowed Michael Irvin, it allowed Troy Aikman to be great because they knew they could hand the ball to Emmitt Smith. He was get 3 or 4 yards. As NFL all-time leading rushing leader, he is never, nobody ever considered, most people don't consider him the greatest running back of all time. Like, I very rarely hear Emmitt Smith included as the greatest running back of all time. But what he was and what you can't argue is he was the most dependable and most consistent. Every time you gave the ball to Emmitt, you were getting yards, and he was always available. You know what I mean? And so Emmitt Smith, as my royalty leader, he was really one of the anchors for that culture out in Dallas. And when you watch the commercials, and this is what I remember. I remember Emmitt Smith had a commercial, and it was about the culture and how they kept winning Super Bowl. And they had just won a Super Bowl, and it clicked, and it was like the next day, and Emmitt was lifting, and they was like, Emmitt, ain't you gonna celebrate? He was like, who? I'm getting ready for another run. Like, and it was this culture, this ideal that we got work to do still. Like, that championship's over with. I'm not resting on that. I'm about to go back to work because I want another one. And it was that culture that really carried the Cowboys through the 90s, okay? So I'm going to run back through that, my all-time list. Hero for Bo Jackson, Guru Mike Singletary, Voice Terrell Owens, and Royalty Emmitt Smith. All right, and football's a little different. Like I said, I got too many players. I'm not doing every position, but I am going to do some position. All right, and we're going to start with quarterback. Probably today, the most important position, and that's what's so interesting. It hasn't always been that way. Like I said, it used to be the running back, offensive line, linebacker, but now for probably like the last decade, probably a decade plus, it's been the quarterback has been the most important player. And so for my hero, I'm going with Mike Vick, dog. Like, nobody will ever forget Madden 2004. Like, nobody will ever forget the idea that you could just hike the ball, run to the right, spin, and run left and run around everybody with Mike Vick. I remember people used to say, we could play Madden, but you cannot use Michael Vick. He is the epitome of a hero. Like, you watch him play breakdown, no problem. I was ready. I was made for this moment. And he just made play after play on his legs, with his arm. And man, he was incredible, dog. If Mike Vick, I really believe if Mike Vick don't go to jail with that dog stuff, I think he would have had a chance to win a Super Bowl and probably win an MVP. Like, he went to jail right in the middle of his prime, and it really cut some years off his career. But everybody who laid eyes on Vick know there ain't been a more special talent at that position and don't exist. Like, he was electric, and all he did was make plays. That's all he did. Nobody talks about Mike Vick for his ability to hot route at the line or his ability to be a great teammate. They talk about Mike Vick because he made plays. You talking about Showtime? You talking about Sports Center? Da-da-da, da-da-da. You did not want to be in the field with open field with Michael Vick. It was curtain. And so Mike Vick is my hero leader. For my guru, I'm going Peyton Manning, dog. Even to this day, like, Peyton, I watch Monday Night Football. I watched the Manning's stream of Monday Night Football because it's so insightful. Like, Peyton be calling plays. They be talking about routes. They have the most random name for routes. I'm like, it's a slant. They're like, it's a 9 zig tiger. I'm like, bro, it's a slant. I play Madden. But like, his ability to see the field, see the defense, diagnose a defense. I think there's never been a player in NFL history that does it as good as Peyton Manning. I think they used to say in Indy, like, they would call plays in, but Indy really ran like a no huddle because Peyton would call the play at the line of scrimmage. He would see what the defense is in, and he would just start checking everybody's route, checking everybody's assignment. And man, it's just, he probably run like a 5.9 40, dog, and dominated the NFL for over a decade on 2 Super Bowls on 2 different teams and 2 different offenses. Because of how smart he was and how intelligent he was. And Peyton Manning is my guru. For my voice leader, I'm keeping it current. Shout out to Patty, dog. Patrick Mahomes is a voice leader. To his default, man. Hey, it's been a rough year in Kansas City as far as our expectations are the norm and what we're going through. We're still really good. I still think we're going to win the Super Bowl. Time shall tell. All right. When this come out, I don't know where we'll be. But I think the Chiefs going to win the Super Bowl this year. Time stamp it so I can celebrate and I can mock you all who doubted us. But what we've seen is Patrick Mahomes' leadership style is a voice leader. Outside of one little spat he had with Tony getting on my nerves too, and I don't even play with him. Every press conference, he's like, hey, man, my receivers are good. Hey, it's our team. It's my fault. I take the blame. I got to be better. It's my fault. Like, I got to be better. I got to do this. I got to do that. But my guys, I trust them. I believe in them. I'm going to bat with them. I'll go to war with them. And this whole idea, like, it's a us thing, and I'll take the blame. Like, as voice leaders were like, man, I'll bite the bullet, dog. Y'all can blame me. Don't blame my people. Don't blame who I'm with. Like, y'all can blame me. I'll take the heat. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he's done all year. That's what he's done his whole career. He's required greatness and excellence from himself and from everyone else, but in a sense where it's like he wins and loses with the idea that he can pull and push everyone to being better. And if that doesn't happen, it's on him. It's not on them. And so Pat is my voice leader. For my royalty, I'm going Tom Brady, man. Patriots culture, dog. Like, and I think I was gonna do Brady for guru, but this is why I went Brady for royalty. Because as much as Belichick was a huge part of Patriots culture. But we've seen two things happen since Tom has left. It's one, Patriots culture ain't looking like it used to look, right? Like, it ain't producing what it used to produce. Two, Patriots culture seemed to travel with Brady to Tampa Bay. And so I'm gonna give Brady the nod on the culture that was in New England, the ideal of like, man, you gotta come to work with your lunch pail. Like, ain't nobody bigger than nobody. Ain't nobody star. Ain't none of that. Like, come to work with your lunch pail and do your job. Like, it seems like the most simple statement. But in sports, man, especially in NFL where you got 11 guys with 11 assignments, man, Tom Brady was the epitome of, man, do your job. And that's what he did, and that's how he led, and that's how they were able to be so successful. The most successful franchise over his tenure is because he established the culture that he was the anchor for. And so going over my QBs one more time, I got hero Mike Vick, I got guru Peyton Manning, I got voice leader Patrick Mahomes, and I got royalty Tom Brady. Moving right along, we're going to our running backs, okay? We're doing 3 positions on offense, 2 on defense. And then we're going to, you know what I'm saying, get to the bonus. But we're going to running back for my guru, or I'll start with hero. For my hero, I got Barry Sanders, my favorite player ever, second favorite player ever. Barry Sanders was a hero, man. And you watch a Barry Sanders run, you like, bro, was anybody else even on the team? Like, bro, I'm talking about he run right, juke a dude, spin off a dude, run left, and you like, why aren't y'all blocking anybody? Why is everybody trying to tackle him? Man, Barry was a hero running back, dog. He retired early because he got tired of being a hero. But man, elusive, quick, slippery, all the great running back terms you can use. Barry was all of that, dog, and a bag of chips and then some. And it's just so sad he ain't get to play with nobody in Detroit. I think he won 1 playoff game his whole time in Detroit. But man, I would say Barry, you put Barry behind that line Emmett had in Dallas. Oh, Barry would have rushed for 2,500, dog. Like, and that's one of my favorite stats about Barry Sanders before I move on. My favorite Barry Sanders stat is if Barry didn't run backwards, which he had to do because the offensive line was complete trash. If Barry didn't run backwards and he was just like Emmett, run forward, consistent, Barry would be the all-time leading rusher by a mile if Barry just didn't run backwards. But he knew that if he didn't hit a home run and get to the end zone, they weren't going to score. So every touch, he was trying to get to that end zone, okay? And that's why Barry's my hero. Moving to my guru, I'm pulling a dude out. You know what I'm saying? He don't get talked about a lot. Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk is my guru. And I was going to go LT, but I thought it'd be more fun to talk about Marshall Faulk. Marshall Faulk is my guru, greatest show on turf. His ability to run and catch at a time when running backs weren't doing that, like running backs either ran the ball or pass protected. Marshall Faulk was a borderline receiver and running back. And man, he was just as important as Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce. Like if they don't have Marshall Faulk as the guru, and this is why I say he's a guru, as a running back to be able to run routes and to catch the ball, you have to put in extra time. Like that wasn't a normal routine or part of their practice. And here you go, Marshall Faulk, who's running routes, breaking off linebackers and getting open against corners and safety at the same time as being an excellent running back. That requires a lot of time, a lot of film hours, a lot of study, a lot of practice. And so I'm going with Marshall Faulk as my guru. For my voice leader, I'm going Jim Brown, all right? Jim Brown, who everybody over the age of 60 will tell you is the greatest NFL player ever. He's going to be my voice leader. I ain't get to see Jim Brown play, but I've heard so many stories about him. He's a lot like Kareem, where he's a voice leader for his stuff he did off the field. He stood up for civil rights. He was a huge advocate for the black community. And so Jim Brown is going to be my voice leader. Talk to your great grandpa. He might be able to tell you some more about him as a player. But as far as a leader, Jim Brown was a voice leader. Royalty. Shout out to my pops. I hate Pittsburgh, and I hate Pittsburgh because my dad loves Pittsburgh. I couldn't think of any running back who exudes culture more than Jerome the Bus Bettis. Like Jerome the Bus Bettis, when you think about Pittsburgh in the 90s and early 2000s, you think about Jerome Bettis. Like this dude who looks like he should be a lineman, getting the football and running guys over. Smash mouth, punch you in the face, football. Like Jerome Bettis is not only epitomizes the culture of Pittsburgh, man, he epitomized the culture of the NFL at that time. Like that's what the NFL was. It was a lot of Jerome Bettises trying to impose their will on another man. And he was one of the best at it. And he's the reason Pittsburgh was relevant. Man, winning a Super Bowl in his last year, like the Pittsburgh's culture has, since he left, been trying to maintain the foundation that he laid as their leader for all those years. And so I'm going with Jerome the Bus Bettis as my royalty leader. And so going over these leaders again, I got Barry Sanders for my hero, Marshall Faulk for my guru, Jim Brown for my voice, and Jerome the Bus Bettis for my royalty leader. All right, moving on to wide receivers. Hero, y'all know who it is. It's Randy Moss. Y'all know who it is. The dude who only run route. You know what I'm saying? He don't run no slant. He ain't running no out. Put me on a fly route and throw it up. I'm going to go get it. His Minnesota highlight, dog. They seem like they fake. Like, they seem like a video game. I'm talking about Dante Culpepper closing his eye and throwing the ball 50 yards to a dude in triple coverage, knowing that he probably got a better chance to get it than they do. Like, Randy is what everybody wants a receiver to be. Like, fast, tall, strong, jump over everybody. Like, when you think about what your perfect receiver is, every casual is going to say a guy like Randy Moss. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, like now you get to more football guys, like, give me Jerry. He runs a great route. They might be on that. Everybody who just casual football fan, I want Randy Moss. I want a dude I can run a goal route to and just close my eyes and throw it up. And that's what he was, and that's who he is, and that's why Randy is my hero. I gave a little preview. My guru, Jerry Rice, dog. It ain't a better route runner in NFL history, dog. They talk about all the time. Jerry Rice won fast. He won super athletic. He ain't jumped super high. But he was so quick and he was so skilled. If you watch Jerry Rice highlights, you always be like, where the DB at? Like, why he so open? Like, it almost looked like they keep forgetting that he's Jerry Rice. No. He keep cooking cats. Like, this was back in the day, NFL, they ran a lot of man defense. One, like I said, was impose your will. Jerry Rice was imposing. He was a bully. He was a bully DB. And he just put him in a chamber. Big. He go running, and now he running in route, and they on the sideline talking to their coach, like, bro, why you didn't give me the film? Like, he was like that. You feel me? Jerry Rice, my guru. For my voice leader, I'm going Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. Man, talk about a guy who spoke for a team. Like, most people don't even remember nobody else on that Bengals roster, but they remember Ocho because Ocho was talking. He was talking for the whole Cincinnati city, for all a whole fan group, everybody. Ocho spoke for you all. And and he's a fun guy. He epitomized Cincinnati at the time, kind of the underdog, a guy who a lot of people didn't think that highly of, but who was great and who was really good and who really for a while, man, they were right there, man. They were contenders. Him, Carson Palmer, Hoosman Zada, like they were really good. They was a really good team, and Ocho was the face of that team. For my royalty leader, I'm going with the playmaker. I'm going back to Dallas. I had Emmett. I said I go back to Dallas for the playmaker. I'm getting Michael Irvin, dog. He was just like Emmett, the heartbeat of that team, dog. Like they needed a play. He got the coolest nickname in NFL history. Playmaker, like that is the coolest nickname in NFL history because that's what everybody wants to be. Everybody in NFL wants to be a playmaker. And Michael Irvin was the playmaker. And so his ability to make a play when they needed it was the heartbeat of that culture. His flashiness, his confidence, borderline arrogance was the Dallas Cowboys brand. And he really, the way he went about playing football on and off the field definitely fed into their ability to be the Dallas Cowboys, right? So going on my receivers, Randy Moss for hero, Jerry Rice for guru, Ocho Cinco for voice, and royalty for Michael Irvin. Now, I want to get to corner. We're going to switch, go to defense. I'm just doing 2 on defense. I'm going corners first. So corners, I'm going hero, my favorite player of all time, the coach of the Colorado Buffs, prime time, Deion Sanders, man. Dog, when I tell you watching Deion growing up was like my favorite thing to do, like watch Deion, watch Kobe. That's it. And Deion, like Michael Irvin, but on the other side of football, and that's why I got him as a hero. Deion wasn't really about the culture. Deion was like, hey, if you set me on this side of the field, you can do whatever else you want to on the other side of the field. The Revis Island, Deion originated that, where he would just guard a guy, follow him, and if Deion's on the right, y'all can play zone on the left. Y'all can do whatever y'all want on the left. But on this right, I'm going to make a play. And Deion high stepping, you know what I'm saying? The jewelry, the Jerry curl. Like Deion was the hero leader through and through. And that's why I got him there. For guru, I'm going Darrelle Revis. A lot like Deion, man, Revis Island was a real place that you did not want to be on, okay? You did not want to be on Revis Island. He was physical. He had hands. His feet were impeccable. He could play press. He could play drop. He was just the best corner of my generation, like of my childhood. Like Deion, I got to see Deion a lot when I was younger, but Deion was out the league, you know what I'm saying, late 90s. Revis, when I was growing up, he was what you wanted to be in a corner. Physical, strong, athletic, quick, fast, and just smart. Knew what route was coming. Before you knew it, Revis was running routes for receiver. And he just got inducted to the Hall of Fame this year. But man, when I tell you the epitome of what a corner is and should be, give me Darrelle Revis as my guru. For my voice leader, I'm going with the dude on Undisputed, Richard Sherman, dog. The leader of the Legion of Boom, the voice leader of the Legion of Boom, the dude who talked for everybody. He talked for Chancellor. He talked for Pete Carroll. He talked for Russ. He talked for Marshawn. Well, don't know why he talked for Marshawn. But Sherman was the guy who let you know what they was doing, who they were as a team. And he was so eloquent. I'll never forget when he got on First Take and he told Skip, I'm better than you at life. Like, I'll never forget that. But Sherman was a Stanford grad. He's so smart. He could have been my guru, but I went with voice because I think that fits his personality a little bit better. And so for Richard Sherman, I'm going voice leader. And for royalty, I'm going back to the Patriots. I'm going Ty Law, man. A dude that I don't think people talk about a lot, but man, when we talk about the Patriots early on when Brady first got there, Brady was a game manager for sure. No, not disrespecting Brady. He's like that. But when his first few championships, he was a game manager because of guys like Ty Law on the defensive side. Like Ty Law was that hard-nosed culture cornerback. He wasn't flashy. He didn't do a lot of talking. He really epitomized Patriot culture. Him and all them other Hall of Famers they had over there. But Ty Law is my corner. I'm going with as my royalty leader. And so for the cornerback position, Deion is my hero. Darrelle Revis is my guru. Richard Sherman is my voice. and royalty goes to Ty Law. Moving on to safety, this is my last position. Then we get to the bonus. Hero, I'm going Troy Polamalu. The dude with all the hair. I never forget when Troy started jumping over the pile at the goal line. Like, if that is the most hero thing you can do in the NFL. It is a play where everybody else on the field is on the ground pushing each other. And you go, I'm going to save the day, and jump over to meet the running back. That is the most hero play you can make. So I'm going Troy Polamalu of the Pittsburgh Steelers as my hero safety. For my guru, I'm going Ronnie Lott. This is probably, outside of Dion, probably my second favorite player on defense. I'm a sports historian. I love watching. I had football cards, all that. Ronnie Lott could play every single position. He played corner left, corner right, strong safety, free safety. And this was the crazy part, was excellent at every single position. If you want to go watch somebody hit somebody, man, pull up a Ronnie Lott highlight. I'm talking about dismembering guys, separating dudes' helmets from their bodies. Ronnie was crazy, dog. He played for the Niners. And man, when I talk about just his versatility, his ability to be excellent at every spot on the field, play the run, play the pass. Ronnie Lott is my guru for my safeties. For my voice, I'm going Brian Dawkins. I love B-Doc, man. Talk about a dude. The stories that people tell about Brian Dawkins are just like incredible. I talked about last episode, like some of the Kobe stories. Brian Dawkins got a lot of stories like that, where his teammates just say things that he would say to them that would get them going, or that would encourage them, or that would propel them to play better. And now how he really was the voice leader of that locker room, where guys really looked up to him and were waiting for it to see what he would say and what he would do. And he carried that defense to a Super Bowl. Like, Brian Dawkins was a huge part of the Eagles making a Super Bowl. And so he's my voice leader. And for my royalty, I'm going back to one of the greatest defenses of all time. I'm going Ed Reed for the Ravens. Ed Reed was a culture guy. Him and Ray Lewis, if I would have linebackers, I would have Ray Lewis as royalty too. Like, man, when you think about defense and you think about Baltimore, you think about Ed Reed. He was one of the greatest safeties in the NFL history, and on the greatest defense, arguably in NFL history, and the reason that defense was so good, right? Like, yes, their front seven was fantastic, but it was the fear of throwing anywhere near Ed Reed that kept guys short so Ray Lewis could clean them up, right? Like, and so Ed was one of the anchors of that culture, and so he is my royalty leader. So I got Ed Reed for royalty, Brian Dawkins for voice, Ronnie Lott for guru, and for hero, I went Troy Polamalu. Now for the bonus. I did this with the basketball. For all the positions, I'm talking about who these players naturally were. No matter the team, no matter the situation, this is who they naturally were. But now I want to talk about the greatest offense of all time, and who everybody was within that offense, and how they were excellent at that role. And if you don't know, the greatest offense of all time was the Kansas City Chiefs' first Super Bowl, when they had Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce, along with Andy Reid calling the plays. And so we're going Patrick Mahomes. He kept his. Quarterbacks get to be who they are. That's one of the benefits of being a quarterback in this era. You ain't got to change. Patrick Mahomes was a voice leader. He was a voice leader, man. He kept the guys together. He loved on everybody. He was smiling. He was going to cat. Even if you dropped, he'd go back to you. He was the engine of the team, in the sense that he encouraged everybody as the face, as the voice. He did that every single game, every single practice. For my hero, we're going with Reed, the cheetah, man. Tyreek Hill was a hero for that team. I'll never forget the route he ran, and Pat just threw it up, knowing that Tyreek would make a play. And it seemed like he did that all season long. He was incredible. We miss you, Tyreek. I'm glad you in Miami. Hope you have a great time. But we miss you, man, in Kansas City, man. But he was a hero for that team. And y'all know who set the culture. Y'all know who set the culture. It was Travis Kelce, Mr. You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party himself. He is the heartbeat of the Kansas City Chiefs. And on that team that year, man, every time, you just seemed like he always made plays, But it wasn't just the plays he made, it was how he made the play. It was what he said after the plays. It was his confidence. It was his ability to inspire, his ability to capture the heart of a city. Everybody loves Kelsey because he represents our culture, okay? And so Kelsey is the royalty leader. And then Andy Reid is the guru, the greatest. I say he's the greatest offensive coach of all time, him and Bill Welsh. But like Andy's play calling, oh my God. It's Madden. Andy be out there playing Madden, dog. He be coming up with stuff and he's running stuff and he got guys shifting and rotating and spinning and in the right. Man, he is a guru by all sense of the word. And what's so amazing is all of them were able to be who they were on that team, and what you got was excellent. And that's how the perspectives work, is when you come together, this is the bonus, all right? This is what you stayed for. Every perspective is valuable. There's not one that is better than the other. I know everybody thinks that their perspective is the best one, but that's just hubris and ego, okay? Every perspective is valuable and equal. The question is, which perspective should be doing what, where, and when? Okay, which leader should be responsible of what? Which leader should be in charge of what? Which leader should be handling what? Right? And when you figure that out within an organization, a team, and you figure out this is what they're good at, this is why the test, the quiz is so important. If you got organization, send them over. I got group rates. I do conferences. I come talk to you. We'll work on it, because what happens when you figure out what everybody else's leadership perspective is, you know what their strengths and weaknesses are, and you're able to give them opportunities to be that, right? Like, think of the Chiefs, for example. If we would have required Tyreek Hill to become a guru, right, where he got to run 400, 500 different route combinations, and they got to be perfect on the mark every time, he would have not been who he's supposed to be. And that's the thing. He might still have been really good, but he would not have been excellent. Being excellent is about being who you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be it, okay? And so that is my final take for episode 7. Hey, thank y'all, my ladies that watch. I know these last 2 sports episodes might have been a little tough if you're not in sports. My fellas who not into sports, it might have been a little tough. This is the last one for a while, okay? We're going to jump right back into leadership. I might have a guest on next time. Oh, who's it gonna be? But we gonna talk. I thank y'all for bearing with me. And for my sports fans, man, share it with your peoples who love sports, because these were dope. I know these were dope episodes, man. And so I hope that you enjoyed it. And I can't wait till next episode, man. I can't believe we almost 2 months into the ladder, man. It's been dope. I'm having a great time. And so, man, hey, I love y'all. I'm honored that you spent some time with me. You can go back to work now, you know what I'm saying? Or you can watch another, go watch another episode if you ain't caught up, all right? Hey, but it's your host who is your mostest, Justin Strickland, your favorite Crew Excellence member. Ask your mama, she'll tell you. And I'm out, man. Peace.